Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl, Becky D, live in the morning, 7 days a week, 7 a.m. You guys, we have made it to Wednesday. We win Wednesday with the wisdom that we have stored up and ready to use, because the strength that we have is untapped potential for the things that we want to accomplish in life. I'm going to make a little corny joke. That sounds like a church name with the slogan thrown in it. All right, I said it was corny. Don't look at it. Don't look at your phone like that. I said it was corny. Okay. Anyways, somebody said something that made a lot of sense to me. And of course, if it makes sense, I have to share it, right? They said that it's okay to start over because you're starting from experience. And I was like, ooh. See, when people say good stuff like that to me, it sits down in my soul, and I have to take a full week or so to meditate on it because it's so good. You don't want to pass it up. So let's break that down. It's okay to have to start over, right? And someone took it a step further and said, you don't even have to think about starting over. Don't call it that. Just call it starting with experience. Like, so many times we fail at things in life. If you've ever had to write a paper, if you went to school, you've had to write a paper. Don't care if it's college, high school, middle school, even elementary nowadays. You've had to write some form of paper. And if you're like me and a little bit of a perfectionist, you've had to start over several times because you didn't like the way it was going and you didn't like the words that you were using and you sounded a little repetitive and all that jazz. But each time I started over, I started with prior knowledge. I started with experience. So let's just say if you're at the job and you feel like you have to get pushed back a few notches or whatever the case may be, just know you're starting back at the start line with experience of something already. Okay. In relationships, if you get into a relationship via a recent breakup, or it's been a while and it's time to finally get back out there, you have experience. You've experienced some things, and in that experience you have become stronger. Okay. Don't sleep on that, y'all. Please don't. The things from your past are just that. They're your past, but they're prior knowledge that makes you stronger. Okay. As you know, I've been working out more because I have the time. And one thing that I notice is that my muscles start to remember some of the things that I do. Like, how many sit-ups, how many reps of sit-ups I would do before I would move to a crunch and, side and all that, just like different things. It remembers. And so it knows when to start letting you know, all right, it's time to give out. But I tried this new workout on my Nike app with an actual live instructor, and it was new routines, and I find myself barely doing 3. Y'all. Really? But the next time, because I'm going to start over, I'm going to do it again. And you don't start in the middle of a routine, you start back at the beginning. I'm starting with experience. I'm starting with prior knowledge. And so now I know it's coming, and I'll be able to attack it appropriately. Okay? So now I'm excited. At the time, I was not that excited. I'm not even going to trip. Y'all, I thought I was dying a little bit, and I wanted to talk to this lady and be like, who are you, and why are you still talking and smiling while you're doing this workout? But I know that one day I will get there. But right now, I am still yet in training. So if we know that we come with experience, then why do we worry? Why do we complain? And why do we whine? It's because we want some attention and we want people to hear us, and we just want to be heard and seen and just make a big fuss on the internet and stuff like that. Stop complaining, first of all, okay? Please stop. It's not cute. It's so not becoming of you. Oh, darling, you have so much to learn. You will find yourself getting more done, being more accomplished than ever before if you stop whining, start owning up to any errors, anything that did not seem to go your way. You start to accept that this is not a complete restart, but it is a reset, okay? Now most people, they're like, okay, what's the difference? So if you notice on your computers, you have a restart. And all it does is it shuts it down, but it boots it back up. A reset is going to configure the settings, okay? So we're not restarting. We're not going to completely shut down and then, no, because we've been doing it all our lives. Right? And I don't know about y'all, but when I restart my computer, I have to open up all my browsers and all my documents and all this stuff over again, and it's a big hassle. But when I reset, okay, it takes me back to a certain time where everything is still open, but I'm recovering some stuff, and I'm just trying to get it back to original state so I can make the correct things that I need to. If you're editing or if you're typing and you have to reset to its original format so then you can go back in and make the changes accordingly, that's okay, but you didn't restart. You didn't wipe everything clean and it's a blank page. You see what I'm saying? Do you see the difference? The difference is that we're not starting with a clean plate or slate. We're starting with the stuff on it, but we just have to do it differently this time. A lot of us know that history often repeats itself. And I remember a while back, I told you I don't like when history repeats itself, but it's getting ready to. And it frustrates me that we can't see it. We want to constantly live out a textbook that's already been written over and over and over again. The story is slightly worded differently, but it's still the same. Instead of do a restart, let us do a reset, okay? Sit still for 5 minutes. Think about the things that you are getting ready to do today. Figure out if it's something that you've done before, and if it is, what results did you yield? Were they good or bad? Okay? That's like a recipe. It's time for story time with Auntie Becky. Y'all, let's do it this way, okay? So, I love cooking. It's a secret. Don't tell anybody. Let's keep it between us, okay? And growing up, when I could eat gluten and dairy and all that great stuff, I would look up recipes. I like to do things a little different. Just like me, I'm a little different. I'm not cut and paste and copied like everybody else. I'm a little different. I'm a little weird kid. And there was, mac and cheese, one of my faves. Oh gosh, hands down. And I saw this recipe for a barbecue bacon mac and cheese. If I'm not mistaken, that's the full title. And in my head, I'm like, there's no way you put all my favorites into one dish and it doesn't taste weird. Like, I just know me. Like, I will personally cook a mac and cheese and put barbecue sauce on the side, but with bacon and onions and all this stuff, it was pretty much a bunch of stuff that you didn't think belonged into a mac and cheese, because now it's a casserole, right? So I follow the steps to the T. Boom, 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 cheese, cook the bacon and noodles, and you just throw it in there, throw it in the oven. And when I tell you, to this date, that was some of the best mac and cheese I've ever had. It's some of the best. And now, I am getting ready to recreate it. But I'm not starting from a blank slate. I'm starting with that recipe, okay? The only thing is I have to make modifications to the noodles and the cheese and, the bacon that I'm using because I don't eat a lot of pork anymore. So I'm having to make these modifications. So I didn't restart. I just reset. That means I have to watch my cook times and I have to be more cautious of, the cooking temperatures and stuff like that. And pray it yields the same result, right? The taste is still the same. So in that case, it's good. But when I got my moped when I was a little kid, and riding on a moped, to me that was my motorcycle, and I decided I wanted to do some tricks. I had a goal in the backyard. It was, the goal post was actually into the ground. It was deep in the ground. And I thought, see these people do it on TV. You put your hand on the bar and just riding around in a circle. This is where history doesn't need to repeat itself, because apparently my grip was too tight on the pole. My body exited the moped, and the moped kept going one way, and I got rung around a pole. Okay. Not good. Will I do that again, knowing that happened before? Not necessarily, no. I would take a different measure, do a different trick, but I would not repeat that history because it wasn't good. All right? So you have to decide what is good, what is bad, using your wisdom, using your strength, using your past experiences. But I would be foolish if I didn't mention this today. You guys, it is very obvious that something is not quite right with the things going on in the world today. Open your eyes. See with your soul. Okay? Guard your hearts, guard your minds, guard your bodies and your spirits, because something does not sit quite right with all of this. Be awake, be conscious, and just pay attention. That's it. I'm not going any further. You do with it what you please. Use your wisdom, because we winning on this Wednesday, okay? And just know that the only way you should operate is all love, no hate, because that's the way I operate. As always, my name is Becky D with Becky D in the Morning. I will talk to y'all tomorrow morning.